Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'm gonna be watching the top one Khazix player in the game. So as you guys can see, it's Isolation. He's been top one for the majority of times while playing Khazix. And he has a YouTube channel, guys. He doesn't really have the recognition he deserves. So he sent me this montage that he made, the Khazix montage that you can see right there. And guys, it's absolutely amazing. So I just told him, you know what? I'm gonna collaborate with you. Let's do this. You have amazing content and you deserve the recognition. So check his channel out. I'll put a link to it in the description, top comment, everything like that. And we're gonna be watching his Kha'zix together, right? I told him to not give me a game where he stomps. So, like the basic principles of my channel are the videos that I want to upload is videos that have it all, right? Like that have the mistakes, the bad game, blah blah blah, everything like that. Not the stomps and things like that. So this is gonna be that game. He's obviously really good at Kha'zix, right? And after reviewing his game, he has these crazy things. He has this kind of a different mindset with Kha'zix. Like I myself, I'm actually really good at Kha'zix. Kha'zix is one of my good champions, but like watching a Kha'zix like Isolation is very refreshing. Like the way that he plays it is very refreshing, and you guys will see what I'm talking about later on in the video. Oh, I need to pick skin giveaway winners. Oh God. Okay, I need to. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. All right, not today. I'm too tired. I'll do that tomorrow. The giveaway winners from January, and I'm gonna do a new skin giveaway for February too. Yet again, 10 legendary skins. I'm gonna pick the winners for January tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. Not today. I have too much of a headache, but tomorrow. We can see that he's doing this little trick as well. This should be obvious to you guys right here, where when you reach level 3, you take the upgrade on your first ability instead of the third ability. This works on a lot of junglers because certain abilities deal more damage to jungle camps, and you're gonna get level 4 anyways. Like look, boom, you get level 4 anyways if you clear those 4 jungle camps right there. Right here, he decides to go for the scuttle grab. He's like, I can kill Orianna anyways, but then it bites him in the ass because Orianna took her heal and he doesn't get the kill anymore. What he should have done here is, he should have actually gone for the kill instead. He should have instantly gone for the kill, and who he would have gotten that kill. Like, not probably, he would have gotten it. Just use your flash, use your third ability, and kill the Orianna. As you can see, he's probably regretting it a little bit now, and he's like, come on, I didn't kill her. It's okay though. Like, you can see that his playstyle is heavily revolved around ganking. He took a lot of jungle and now he wants to gank. So there we go with the flash and 1 HP. That is so sad. That is so sad. It was a good gank, but sometimes the Wild Rift gods are just not on our sides, I guess, right? That's that is incredibly sad. And Kha'zix before level 5 is not the strongest fighter, but he is good at ganking. Even though you don't have the invisibility, his ganking potential is pretty good, especially if you have a sweeper. And we can see that Isolation is actually trying to make use of that. Not with a lot of success right now, but yet again, not every game is a perfect game. So what is gonna happen, normally with like if you gank like this, you are gonna get a kill normally if you do it correctly. But of course not always. And let's see what's gonna happen if you don't always get a kill. He's still sticking around, as you can see. Like he's just desperately looking for a kill, and with his ultimate, with everything. Like let's see what he does here. So the Pantheon is isolated. He goes for super aggressive dives and just kills the Lux. So it's interesting to see that he actually decided to trade himself for the enemy support. Is that or is that not worth it? That's the question. So he gave himself 350 gold, but he also gave the enemies 350 gold. That's perhaps a questionable thing to do, but at least that's gonna get him a little further into the late game, because late game Kha'zix is actually incredibly powerful. Jinx has FF, by the way. Late game Kha'zix is actually incredibly powerful, so maybe his philosophy around the gank like that, where he trades himself for the enemy, is that he just wants to reach the late game super fast. So let's take a look at what he's about to do here. I assume another gank, right? Like, where are his wards, by the way? Oh, there it is. It's like below his smite. It's hard, but he gets the kill. Nice. Amazing. That was so good. He dealt so much damage while she was isolated, and then he was able to finish her off anyways. I really like how aggressive this playstyle is. Like, when I play Kha'zix, and I'm not saying that playing Kha'zix like me is wrong, but when I play Kha'zix, I tend to farm a bit more. And if a gank doesn't go too well, I don't follow up too much on it. I just farm, because Kha'zix is actually really fast at farming jungles. when you get the evolved first ability. Here they just lose the dragon. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. I assume he's gonna go for the Rift Herald here. So let's see what he's gonna do. Is he just gonna be like, screw the dragon, I'm gonna go to the Rift Herald, or not? So let's see. My call would definitely be the Rift Herald, and it seems like his call is the Rift Herald as well. You know, this is like what you want to do. Go for the Rift Herald. Your team is gonna back you up, and at least you're gonna get something out of it. So let's take a look at what's gonna happen. Boom, boom. He's using the Mastermind rune as well on Khazix, by the way. Yeah, it seems like he's a bit too late to Rift Herald. Boom, boom. He surprises the Olaf, but oh, ooh, that was actually close. He got that Olaf real quick, but so he wasn't able to get the Rift Herald, and then he pings the bot lane to take the turret. It's like, it's still the right decision to go for the Rift Herald there, because either the enemy team takes a disadvantageous fight at the Rift Herald and you win that fight, or you get the Rift Herald, or your team gets the bot lane turret. So your team gets the first turret. So it's like you kind of have to do this, because if you don't do anything, the enemy team is gonna take it all. Here you can see at least they got a turret, at least. In a situation where they're pretty behind in the game, this is good. If he didn't go for the Rift Herald there, the enemy would have defended the turret and they would have gotten the Rift Herald. So that is why Rift Herald was still worth it, even though they didn't get it, because they got a kill right there and they got the bottom turret, which is good for them, which is really good. Also, his build seems to be more revolved around the lethality, like the damage side, compared to my Black Cleaver build. So the Black Cleaver build is going to make you more of a team player, but this build, the full lethality build, where you just go for Duskblade of Draktar, Edge of Night, and whatever else, this build is more revolved around solo carrying the game. It's a higher risk build, but has a higher payoff if you're really good at Kha'Zix, because you're gonna have much more damage. You're not gonna be as tanky, but you're gonna have much more damage, and you're not gonna provide a lot of utility to your team. Yet again, you're gonna have much more damage. And you guys can see that for a player like Isolation, who has been the top 1 Kha'Zix for quite a lot of time, what was I saying? This big damage playstyle seems to be the way to go. I don't recommend it to people that don't play a lot of Kha'Zix though, but look at this. This is what you get out of it. Look at this insane damage, like the burst damage. And the beauty of Kha'Zix is, he already kind of has an integrated Duskblade of Draktar in his passive. When he becomes unseen to the enemy, his next basic attack becomes buffed and slows the enemy, exactly the same as Duskblade of Draktar. So the Duskblade of Draktar buffs that, and then getting even more lethality buffs it even further, because you're going to be shredding right through that armor of the enemies. Let's take a look at this. Oh my god, that damage though. Flash, boom, boom, there it is. Like, this is what you get out of that build. He did die though. And we can actually see that he's using a Triumph as well. Wait, he's using Triumph on jungle Kha'Zix? I always tell you guys to go for Brutal on the jungle, but he's going for Triumph. Now the thing about Triumph is, and I can understand why he would go for a Triumph, is it's because, like you guys can see, he's not much revolved around farming the jungle. He's more about ganking, you know, he's constantly ganking around. And Triumph is going to be much stronger in the late game, obviously, right? In the late game as a Kha'Zix, you're constantly going to be jumping around in teamfights, getting kills and assists, and what's going to happen is Triumph is going to heal you up. And of course Triumph is going to help you finish off enemies because it deals bonus damage when they're low. Let's take a look at how he approaches. There's 5 enemies right here. Normally as a Kha'Zix you cannot do anything here. As you can see, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're in a situation like that, where the enemies clumped up together, Kha'Zix cannot do anything. Right here, they lose another dragon. Like, in this situation, you really cannot do anything. Zed is pushing the top lane turret, which is okay, I guess. But as a Kha'Zix, like, what are you supposed to do here? Especially against this enemy. The enemy is grouping up very well. Like, you can see he's desperately trying to look for an isolated target, and he gets it. He gets it. Boom! Look at that. Like, the patience. Oh, baby. This is the pinnacle of Kha'Zix right here, guys. He goes in again, I assume? No, Orianna actually destroyed him. But look at that, like, it looked like a completely lost cause, But he was able to identify a squishy target with his build. You know, this build is meant for you to identify squishy targets and completely blow them up. He went on the Ashe. That was only like Ashe was only isolated for like a few seconds, but he immediately took the opportunity. And oh, it seems like he's going for serrated Dirk and then the Black Cleaver. So he's choosing to delay his Black Cleaver. He's not going for full lethality. He got his serrated Dirk and then he goes for the Black Cleaver. I've done this too, and this is like, it's gonna delay the Black Cleaver power spike, but it's gonna give you a bigger early game power spike. Oh, there we go. There we go. The steal. The dragon is isolated even if there's an enemy around it and you get the steal. This was amazing. That was a really good steal. So yeah, like I feel I've seen his builds before though. I've seen him play with some very aggressive lethality builds too. So it seems like in this game he actually chose to opt for the Black Cleaver instead, because the Black Cleaver is just such a good item on Kha'Zix right now, especially after it got that buff. They buffed Black Cleaver like a few months ago, I believe. And now it's just the right item for Kha'Zix to go for. They also nerfed Cyrilla's Grudge, so that is why, you know, like now you go for the Black Cleaver before the Cyrilla's Grudge. It's just not worth to go for a Cyrilla's Grudge very early on in the game anymore. By the way guys, make sure you give this video a like if you enjoy it. You know, if you want to watch some other people's perspectives too, and you know, want to see me collaborate with a lot more content creators. I mean, I try to help out as many content creators as I can, because why wouldn't I? I mean, that's the right thing to do, right? Ah, now you can see the tenacity. Like, Ashe's arrow does nothing because he has so much tenacity. This is obviously the right game to go for tenacity. He's against a Lux, Ashe, Pantheon, Oriana, who also has a slow, and Olaf has a slow as well on his first ability. So tenacity is the way to go right here. You're gonna be reducing that CC by a lot. He nearly has a Black Cleaver. Let's see how he plays around it. Like, he can almost get a Black Cleaver. Is he still gonna take a fight? Yet again, this looks like a lost cause for Kha'Zix. A fight like this. It's really hard to identify enemies. What is it called? Come on, I can't think. It's really hard to identify isolated enemies when they're all grouped up. So as you can see, he chose to not fight. He goes for the Black Cleaver, which is a really big power spike, and now you can fight again. But like, I can tell that this enemy is doing quite a good job sticking together, you know, not allowing Kha'Zix to do anything. Like, look at this. Enemies are sticking together so well. It's really, really hard for a Kha'Zix to do anything against an enemy like this. The enemies are just doing a great job. You know, they're applying pressure with the Rift Herald too. Kha'Zix cannot do anything in this situation. You're just basically left and you cannot do anything. You can see he's like desperately trying to do something, but then Cannon with a really nice engage, and my god. Oh my god. Cannon with the engage and instantly finds the opportunity. Like, I always tell you guys, I always tell you guys this thing, that patience is key with Kha'Zix. And this shows it. Like, he's just waiting and waiting and waiting, because you don't want to go in against an enemy 1 versus 4 as a Kha'Zix. You're just never going to do anything like that. And then we see the Cannon ult. Cannon stuns the enemies and they're all separated, so there is going to be isolated enemies. That's when he goes in. That's the right moment to go in. So as a Kha'Zix, you just relax, you chill up until the right moment. Whenever you see the right moment, that's when you go in. That's a very important fundamental thing to understand about Kha'Zix, by the way, guys. Ooh, he takes the evolved ultimate. You know, the evolved ultimate is really good if there's like a very messy fight. Like if you want to be invisible for a long time and, you know, really assassinate the enemies. It's like good for assassination. And the evolved second ability is really good for poke damage and slowing the enemies. So whichever you feel like you need, you can take. Obviously, you have to take the first ability evolved first, then the third. Well, you can take the second or the ultimate second as well, but I prefer the third ability evolved second. This sounds super dumb. Basically, first you evolve your first ability, then you evolve your third ability, then you choose second or fourth ability. That's what I was trying to say. So let's see here, you know, yet again, you cannot do anything here. And he just goes in for the steal and he gets it. But you cannot do anything in the fight. Now he can. Cannon stance, this is his moment. But you can see he's still struggling. Like, it's just so hard. But how is he doing it? Oh, that combo though. Did you see that? He jumped away. He jumped away from the enemy. And while jumping away, he used his first ability and nearly killed that enemy. I don't remember who he hit, but that was an amazing combo right there. So he jumped away, and while he was mid-air, that's when he hit his first ability. So instead of actually using first ability and then jumping away, he chose to jump away and then use his first ability. This is gonna allow him to retreat more safely and still do all the damage. That's actually, like, I never really do that with Khazix, but I should, because obviously it's such a good thing. And the way that you can perfect that, because I haven't even perfected that, is get into practice mode. And I'm gonna do that too, actually. I need to do it, because I want to play Khazix like this too. Get into a practice mode, and just practice it. You know, jump away from the dummies, and during your jump, hit your first ability. This is like, you know, quite an advanced move, but really rewarding if pulled off correctly. Really, really rewarding. There's an isolated enemy, instantly he goes in, as you can see. Instantly. He leaves no room for opportunity, he just instantly goes into the isolated enemy. You literally do 110% more damage to isolated enemies. It's not even double damage, it's more than double damage. It's 110%. That, like, so important for the enemies to be isolated when you play Kha'zix. So let's see, yet again, how does he approach this fight? No, he's not going in. His team is fighting, but he's not going in. He's just chilling in the backline, waiting for the right opportunity. He's just waiting for the right opportunity. Constantly looking at what's happening, but he's not going in. This is Khazix. Then free kill. See? And then there's a Pantheon, there's an Olaf. Now he's waiting for the right. Boom! Free kill. You see that? Boom! Oh, minion! The minion nearly killed him. Oh my god. But here, like, he desperately squeezed in that kill right there. You see, like, it's really hard to play Kha'zix. It's not an easy champion, but if played correctly, incredibly rewarding. So let's take a look at what happens here. Malphite with the ult. He goes on the Orianna. What's happening? What was that? Why did it crash like that? He did a double hop. I cannot show it again to you guys. But basically, he hopped away. He used his first ability during the hop, and then he hopped again. It's like a double hop. And I'm gonna have to practice that one too, because that was insane. Reliably doing, like, you know, reliably hopping around like that is insane. And if you guys want to see more of that, he made a full Kha'zix montage on his YouTube channel. You know, check it out if you want to support some other Wild Rift content creators. Just do it, you know. We got the Baron, that's a free kill. Boom, boom, and boom. There we go. Wow. Wow. Kha'zix is not good at pushing waves, by the way. So you don't really want to be the one pushing waves, but of course he's still doing it here because he has to, right? Like, he kind of has to. And the Elder Dragon is spawning. Ooh, he actually, so he has a Last Whisper, and he's not finishing off his Sarura's Grudge. Instead, he chose to go for Guardian Angel. So, I believe the reason is because he saw more value in the Guardian Angel. Because if they pop the Guardian Angel, he's still going to be alive. So, he decided to opt to go for the Guardian Angel instead of more damage, because he already has enough damage. Now he's actually just rushing the dragon straight up. And if an enemy comes, he's going to jump on that enemy and kill that enemy. So this is the right move to make, and you can just easily secure the dragon like this. Kha'zix takes dragons and barons so incredibly fast. Just take a look at this. He went into their backline. Boom, boom, boom. Ultimate. And there we go. Look at that, guys. Right into their backline. Such amazing gameplay. And the game is over right now. Like, they just won the game. Enemies might as well just surrender the game. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, they can just finish the game. Kha'zix is not the best at pushing, by the way. Because, yeah, it's Kha'zix. He's not meant to do these kinds of things. But, yeah, you know, this is what Kha'zix is good at. This is what Khazix is good at. We can clearly see he doesn't care about pushing. He's just doing Khazix things. I don't know, I think he's dancing around for the victory right here. Just finish the game, bro. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So let's see if he's gonna show how much damage everyone dealt and things like that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let's see. Full mastery Kha'zix, by the way. Yeah, currently in Grandmaster rank. Let's see. Show the damage. There we go. So he dealt the most damage. He also tanked quite a lot of damage. And yeah, that was it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And make sure to check out Isolation. He has an amazing YouTube channel. And I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.